Okay, so the last video I did was with the Las Vegas Philharmonic Trumpet Section, and that was a very fun time we had with them. Very cool guys, a lot of really funny stories. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But in that video, they talk about a really interesting mute, which is the Mutec Plastic Straight Mute. Now, in the video, they said this thing is only like $7 or $8, but when I checked it out on Amazon, it's now $17, which is still a really great price for a mute. So I bought it to test it out to see what I think. So I'm going to play two different excerpts. One is the Bolero, the opening solo in Bolero, and the other one is the second movement of the Bartok Concerto for Orchestra, the Giacoso. And interestingly, I've got Bartok on the wall right behind me. This is an artist you can find on Etsy, and he customizes the music to whatever you want. So he did the portrait of Bartok, the sketch, and then I requested that the music actually be an excerpt from the Concerto for Orchestra, which he did, and it's really cool. So message me if you would like that information, because he can be found on Etsy, and he does a lot of these things, and they're really interesting. Okay, so here's the opening solo to Bolero, the muted opening first trumpet solo. Very interesting feel for this mute. I like it for the opening solo here. It has a really good openness to it. There's no resistance, which is what I would like in that opening for Bolero solo. And in my opinion, Bolero never should have made this a muted solo. Anyway, it should be open to exhibit the glorious sound of the trumpet. But be that as it may, he does require a mute. And I like this. The low Ds responded pretty well, which are always problematic on the straight mute. So I would seriously consider using this mute on the opening solo for Bolero. Now let's try the Bartok Concerto for Orchestra. Again, I like the sound for the Bartok. You have to get a dry articulation, short, very clean, and I like it. Feels really natural. It feels really good. And again, on the low Ds, even with the repeated articulation and the dryness, the staccato, it responds pretty well. I think I do have to work a little bit harder on those low Ds, but I've never found a mute where I didn't need to work harder on the low Ds on this particular excerpt. So if you like that sound, I think it works really well. If you want the more metallic sound, this doesn't get you there, but I like the feel of this. So if the whole section had these, I would seriously consider it on this one too. So great tip, Tom and Joe. Thank you very much for the Mutec Amazon Plastic Straight Mute. $17. You can't go wrong with that. Check it out.